In 2014, at the age of 16, she created her first YouTube channel and uploaded her very first video. This video would catch fire and get over 34 million views to date, a video that would ultimately change the course of her life. So who is this ever-evolving woman? Stay tuned as we speak candidly about her mindset and her journey to fame right after this. What is mindset? Our mindset is based on what we believe, and anything we believe in, we put into motion. I have spent my life putting the mindset of perseverance into motion, and now I am here today to share my journey along with others whose mindsets have changed the course of their lives. Hi, I'm Mindset Coach Lorraine Lindsey, and I believe that if you can change your mind, you have the power to change your life. So are you ready? Welcome back to another episode of The Mindsetters, where we believe that if you can change your mind, you have the power to change your life. I am your host, Coach Lorraine Lindsey, a certified peak performance and mindset coach. And today we are talking to a famous superstar, a world-renowned dancer. She's here to share her story very candidly. But before I introduce this very special guest, do not forget to hit the subscription button, give us a thumbs up, let us know your comments and your thoughts. I'm super, super excited about having this guest. She's very special, and she's never done a podcast or a candid interview before. So I am excited to talk to you and to talk about your journey through dance and everything else, right? Everything under the stars. Our guest today is the world famous dance icon, Dytto. What's up? And I'm going to give you a little bit about her for those who do not know who she is, which you should. Many will recognize her as Barbie Girl after she made her big debut in the dance world by loading her viral video Barbie. Dytto is an American dancer and actress. She is famously known by her captivating dance moves and often called Robo Babe, Queen Tut, and most famously Barbie Girl. Her recognized style of dance is tutting, animation, slow motion, and robotic dance. She was born in Florida, but was raised primarily in Atlanta. At the age of 15, she started traveling back and forth to LA to pursue her dance and acting career, and eventually made her home at the age of 17. In 2016, she was honored by World of Dance as the Breakthrough Performer of the Year. She has also starred in movies and has been a reoccurring guest on the popular show Ellen. Dytto has over 3.8 million subscribers on her YouTube channel and 3.8 million on her IG, just to name a few. She is a force to be reckoned with. She is an evolving woman who is here today to share her journey from teenage instant star to the blossoming woman she is today. Dytto, welcome. I'm so happy to have you.
I'm so happy to be here.
So I have been watching you. I was binge watching you literally. When Kang, who was on the show last week, said, Dytto wants to come on the show. She wants to have an interview. And I was like, what are we going to talk about? And we had all these things. And I said, you know what? Let's just be candid and let people see who you are, how you're evolving, how that works into your creativity and the highs and lows that come with being Dytto. So the first thing I want to start with is showing this amateur video and then talk through, and then we're just going to get right into the interview. Let's play this video.
All right. Oh, no.
So I love this. You were at the age, how old were you when you did this video?
I think that I was about 14.
14 years old. You're in Atlanta.
Yes.
And I watched the whole video. I mean, I was cracking up because I'm like, I see you in the back. You're like they wait for waiting for the best goes last or whatever the expression is. And everyone's doing their thing, whatever. And then boom, you just come out like just killing it already. Even that tutting, is that tutting? We'll talk about that. But is that your thing? Is that kind of like your signature thing? Was it called tutting?
Yes. Tutting has existed long before me. But I have just tried to be one of the placeholders in popularizing it as much as I can. But I saw tutting for the first time in Step Up 3.
Okay.
And I saw one of my biggest inspirations. Her name's Pandora. She's so incredible. I saw her tutting in this one scene, and they put these little sound effects with like, poof, poof, poof. And when she tutted with it, it was just insane.
I like how it just comes like natural for you too.
No, you'll see. I sleep like this.
I love it. So what is tutting? Tell for those that don't know, what is tutting?
Yeah, so tutting, you've probably seen it and don't even realize you have. Tutting is basically, a baby within popping, which you've probably seen as well. But it's a style of dance that has evolved, but originally was meant to just resemble, 90-degree angles and an Egyptian style of movement. And it's changed over the course of time, from the way that the pioneers did it to the way that people are doing it today, where you could be sitting down and doing it and you're not even really getting up and moving while you're doing it. And it's come a long way,
You're
but
certainly a pioneer in that too,
thank
because you
you.
definitely put it on the map for people who do not know what it is. Watching you and seeing that so much can be pulled and drawn, and you could literally be sitting there and just moving your hands, and you're just telling a story every time. And I think it's sexy, and
Thank
I love it.
you.
So
Thank
let me
you.
ask you, what inspired you to dance, and how did you your dance style transition? Because you have, unbeknownst to some people out there, you have many different backgrounds in dance. So tell us
Yeah.
about where you started in dance and how you transitioned into who you are today.
Oh, dance. I've been dancing since I was about 12, but before that, I was cheerleading and doing gymnastics. So I've always been into it, but seeing dance and seeing Step Up 3, I ended up going from like a very cheerleader-esque dance team to asking my mom, like, how serious can I take this? And hoping eventually my dream was just, can I just like backup dance for Beyonce or something?
Right,
That
right.
was the biggest I thought this could ever get for me. And I was on the journey to doing that, and she started taking me to downtown Atlanta where all the studios were with people who were professionally working. And I was 12, but she put me around that, and she was there to make sure that I was safe and supported and had a barrier of communication between me and all the adults. And she facilitated that for me. I was taking adult classes at the age of 12. I was learning like I was 18. So by the time I was 18, it was a lot easier for me. And I was taking hip hop and I tried breakdancing. That's something y'all do not want to see. I tried tap, I tried ballet, I tried everything under the sun. And when I met my mentor at the time, I fell in love with popping and tutting and animation. And just watching the way that he would do it was he would always say like that we were just trying to be what music looked like.
I love that.
And the style of music I loved at the time, he looked just like it. And I was just, it connected my love with music and my love with dance.
It hit
So,
different, right, than all the other ones.
yeah.
I love that. So you talked about your mother. How important do you feel, especially for people that are watching? And I know there's going to be fans, that young women that are looking at you and they're hearing your story maybe for the first time. But you mentioned how your mother and the support system saying, at 12 years old, I know that I want to take it to the next level. But having her there to be a barrier and to protect you, how important was that for you in your career?
It's everything. I love you, mom. But really, like the way that my mom finessed that part of my life, it gave me morals about everything. Like it wasn't just, hey, let's go to the dance studio and do whatever you want. It was, oh, you want to go to the dance studio? I don't need to worry about your grades. I need to make sure that you're not causing any problems at school. Like I was still in school. So she was like, if you want this luxury of going and doing what you love, I need you to make sure that I'm not over here stressing you about grades or your teacher's calling me. So
She's
it
holding
taught
you
me,
accountable.
yeah, it taught me about accountability and responsibility. And it was so healthy for me. And then on top of it, just having her there as a part of my journey, I think that it's really easy for parents to become disconnected with their kid through their craft. But it
Mm,
gave me the opportunity to take my mom with me in that world.
I love
So
that.
she wasn't like, what is this music you're listening to? She was like, oh, is this that song that everyone was dancing to in class today? Oh, what are they talking about? Oh, mom, they're actually talking about this dance style that Atlanta does, and this is why, and da da da. Like, we both got a history lesson together.
I love that. You
Yeah.
guys went on the journey together. So speaking
Yeah.
of your mom, that video Barbie that went viral. Let's go ahead and play that video real quick as we talk through it.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
So here it was. Here's this video. Very first video, okay? How old were you, first of all, when you made this video?
This was as soon as we got to LA, so I was probably 15 or 16 when
15
we
or
made
16.
this.
Mama's the one filming the video
Oh, yes.
in the garage of an apartment complex. And this video gets over 34 million views. So listen, everyone out there, there's no excuses, okay?
No excuses. glasses. Yeah, my mom could barely see the lens. She didn't know what was going on.
I love, but look what it did. It's like it's one of those things when you are doing something that you love and that you're passionate about, and then you've got the support system behind it,
Yeah.
and you just do it. Did you have any idea when you posted that video that this might go viral, this might take off?
No. And I actually remember being super angry at the time because I had to start a new YouTube channel because my first one was messed up, like the way I set it up. So I had to repost it. And I was so angry. I was like, I have 2,000 views on this video. How dare you think that I'm just gonna re-upload this? Like, what would that do to my career? Like, I was so offended. But I'm just, I
Not knowing
didn't,
that glitch
yeah, not
changed
knowing
everything.
on a
Yeah.
fresh channel, but I think that like I was hoping it would get the attention of my peers, but at that point I was only hoping to show everybody how creative I could be. And it really just I had no idea. It just came from me and my mom sitting and being like, what's a cool song I could do a remix to? And we always talked about like, the idea of being a doll or being a robot. And it
I love, like, in the beginning,
just
the dude gets out of the car with a Barbie doll. And I was like, why does he have a Barbie doll?
I
Right?
know.
And then
Oh
he
my
sits, no, it's
gosh.
great though. And you sit there and then it zooms in. I mean, you
Yeah.
literally edited the video
Oh,
yourself
I
on
edited
iMovie.
the thing out of that
Again,
video.
to those
Yeah.
out there watching, there is no excuses, okay? So
Yeah.
how did you feel? I mean, what was the pressure? Now, I mean, it literally went viral overnight. It was an overnight hit. I mean, we talked prior to being on the show where you're like, yeah, okay, it was like a few million, then it was like 11 million, and it just kept
Yeah.
going. It still keeps going, right? It's at over 34 million. After 7 years, people are still referencing that.
Yeah.
What was the pressure like for you? Because it's like, okay, I've got this thing, but when the initial, I guess, thing wears off, what is the pressure you feel to say, how do I duplicate that? How do I go from just this to not being only the Barbie girl?
Yeah. It comes with a lot of weird pressure that is pretty unrealistic to put on yourself, but it comes with like, okay, now that I've gone viral, are all my videos supposed to go viral? Like, am I not supposed to post anything that gets a regular amount of views? Like, is that weird of me? It puts this unrealistic idea of what you should be posting or what you should be sharing, and it messes with the creative in your mind of
Mm,
this is what I want to post. So for me, I know that the video felt good. Like I knew that the video had a glow to it. I did a performance of it with World of Dance, and I think that was the one that actually caught the eye of Ellen. And like I was watching both of these, the video, the performance, all day, and just trying to comprehend like, okay, is it the outfit? Do I always need to dress like this for people to watch my dancing, or do I always need to dance like this, or is it the music? Is it that I was live on stage, like, or that the video was shot like this? Like, what was it that was like the magic? Like, what did I do right? And it was almost. I heard you say on your guys' show, analysis paralysis, and I love that
mhm.
because I feel like for years now, I've constantly dealt with the struggle of being paralyzed by the options of like how much I could do and then what actually is some like winning formula that's like best for me.
Right.
And it's
Especially
hard.
because, listen, you were 15 years old,
Yeah.
you're evolving as a woman. And with that, you're going to change creatively, right?
Yes.
Because like you listen to music artists, for example, and they
Hmm.
have like their debut album when they're just starting off. Like, let's say Britney
Right.
Spears from back in the day. I don't know if you guys
Right.
remember Britney Spears, but
Oh, I
I
love
just,
me some Britney Spears.
but even her as an artist and saying, this is who I am, this is what you know me
Yeah.
as, but I'm evolving as a woman. Through
Yeah.
your dance tells your story. So I
Right.
want to play this next video. This is this concept video that you came up with. And this really, to go from Barbie girl to this really beautiful, you're in this red dress, there's a pianist there, and there's so much emotion.
Yeah.
And for those of you, as we're going through this, please go onto her YouTube and watch these videos and watch the evolution, because I think people really need to understand conceptually, because they fall in love with Barbie girl and they
Right.
always want you to be that, and then as
Yeah.
you change and evolve, things start to alter. So as we play this video at 168, talk about this concept and how you went from Barbie girl to this just beautiful growing woman.
Yeah, this video really was the beginning of my, I want to say, direction as a director and wanting to worry more about how things translated on camera, how I could tell stories, wardrobe, makeup, shots, all of those things. And when I was getting into those, I was trying to tell my story in ways that were relatable. I was viewing myself as, okay, people think that I'm all this like fanciness of a woman, and I'm really just a normal girl who has a special skill. And I wanted to play around with that. Like, okay, what do normal girls do? Like, and I was thinking about, movie scenes or this or that. And I was thinking about, the girl who feels like she needs to dress up or this or that, but she really just wants to kick it in
Yeah, I love
sneakers
in the
all day,
beginning you have the heels and you kind of kick them off to the
Yeah,
side and you've
it's
got your
really cliche, but it's something that I think every girl can relate to, is feeling this pressure to be something that you don't really feel like you are, but other woman is doing it, and they think that that's supposed to make you a woman.
right.
So you start kind of doing the same. And it originally, like, sometimes it starts off as a concept I just saw in a movie, but it always ends up feeling really, really related to something I've gone
And I
through.
love, and I know we can't hear the audio, but I love how I I've always admired dance. I've always admired people who can tell a story just by moving their body.
Yeah.
Because one thing that it's beautiful to hear someone vocally sing or an
Mhm.
instrument is playing their instrument. But to see a person bring the emotion through the way they move their body
Yeah.
and the way it can touch you, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. So to see you for me when I'm watching all your videos, to see Barbie Girl, and then to see as you walk up those steps and you sit there and you see this emotion. I mean, I was like feeling it. I was taken aback by it. So I want to ask you this. When you started changing and adapting, how did your audience receive that change from Barbie Girl to now you're sexy and it's sultry and it's emotional. How did you how did your audience adapt to that, and were you afraid that that might compromise you as an artist and your following?
It was extremely scary, especially at that point. I'm living off of this, and, I'm trying to find a steadiness in it all. And what was really weird about it is that I was getting a lot of critiques that people didn't really mean. Like, I was getting a lot of, oh, wow, like, this feels so you. I see exactly what you're going for. And then I was also getting a lot of, what is this? Like, we want the Barbie girl. And for a while, it put me in an identity crisis type of
Mm,
space where I was 18 or I was 21 and I was trying to talk like my 16-year-old self because I was under the impression that that's all they wanted.
right.
And then when I would, it was, why is she doing the same thing? It's been like 5 years. Like, do something different. And it was the most confusing thing in the world for anybody,
Let alone a
young,
young
older,
woman
like,
who's like literally thrust in the
yeah.
spotlight, right?
Yeah, it was so odd. And at that point, these people's comments are really influencing what I do. So, like, my hair started to break from some of the products I was using. So I'm putting in extensions every day. I'm trying to make sure I look as Barbie girl as possible. I'm wearing all the pink in my closet. Like, I'm making that my signature color, and I don't even like that color anymore. Like,
I love it.
things
That's
like
evolution,
that.
girlfriend. Let me
That's
tell you.
evolution when you start liking red more than pink.
Right?
But but like, everyone just goes through that growth, and I was trying to take them along the journey with me, but I had covered it up for so long where, it was 4 years that had gone by and I was still trying to act like my 16-year-old self, that I don't think I did a great job at taking people with me at the time. So then at that point I had no choice but to kind of give a rude awakening and be like, you know what? I'm gonna
I'm
chop
gonna
my
do
hair off
you.
if I want to. I'm gonna dress a little
And we're
crazy
gonna talk
because
about that
now I
too.
want a reaction. Oh God.
I love it. I love it. So, because I definitely want to talk about that because it's so even just the signature beautiful locks and the curls and that
Yeah.
long hair and the decision to chop your hair. And we're going to get to that. Before we get to that, there's another video which I love because the reason why I really love this video is because this is where you have girls from the community dancing in the video with you.
Yes.
And you've got you, and this is literally, it's still somewhat in the infancy of your career where you're the
Mhm.
spotlight and you're it.
Right.
What was the decision for you to say, you know what? I'm going to get out and do a video, but I'm going to incorporate girls from the community. What was that all about, and why did you make that decision so soon in your career?
Well, for me, it was kind of jumping at my fears, which I think is really, really important. And I was trying to tackle one of my biggest fears, which is choreographing. I've just become so accustomed and comfortable with freestyling that the idea of choreographing something and then putting it on more people other than just myself was very scary. And I just kind of jumped at the opportunity and put myself in that uncomfortable water. But I felt like I had to get over that because it was more important to me to show off the talent that was emerging in the dance community, whether I was involved or not, whether I'm the one that taught them or introduced them to the dance world or not. Like, I wanted to show the dance world, like, that I see what's going on and I'm
Hmm.
so happy about it. Like, I might not pull up to class, I might be in my kind of own world, but I'm seeing it and it's beautiful. And if there's any way that I can throw down the ladder for the dance community and for these women that are dealing with the things I've dealt with, I'm gonna.
I love that. And I love what you did is you challenge yourself.
Yeah.
You seem to continuously do that. Like you're like, pink is not my color. Now, how do I'm trying to stay in this Barbie box, but now Barbie needs to come out her box, literally, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
and then saying, and now I want to incorporate the community, but I also want to challenge myself with choreography
Right.
and not just being the solo dance. Why was that important for you to do that? And how did you understand the importance of that for you as an evolving artist?
It it really, I knew that what I was doing was bigger than dance because there were people that were not just dancers watching what I was doing. So I felt that it put me in a position where now I'm a voice. Like, I'm a voice of dance whether I want that position or not. It is a responsibility. And it was something I needed to, have a voice in, and my voice in it is always going to be about women and
Love that.
about, how it's easy to act like you're the only woman to shine. Like, that's a really easy way to shine. But I wanted everyone to shine,
I
and I
love
wanted
that.
people to know that about me, that like it makes me feel way better to stand in a room full of women shining on their own and with each other and as themselves than for me to be the only one shining because I'm the only one you can see.
I
That's
think that
not.
is really, really showing your wisdom beyond your years,
Thank you.
and just showing why this won't just be like a 15-second, 15-minute thing for you,
Yeah.
because you get it. You just really, really get it on all types of levels, and I think it's really, really beautiful. And I think it's very inspiring for young women and even older women, because I think that that's something that we don't do when we're trying to rise up and be on our own, is we don't
Yeah.
know how to be in community with one another.
Right.
And when we see someone such as yourself who is an influencer, who people are watching, and to be able to say, this is who I am, but this is who I bring with me. This is my tribe. And I
Yes.
think that that is so incredibly beautiful. And I love that you said that, because I don't know if people will really grasp that about you. But
Yeah.
even like in the last video I'm going to show before we get to it, one of the videos where you're wearing the mask, and even
Mhm.
at one point in the dance, the girls move and you're like in the back, and
Yeah.
it kind of goes along with that. So I want to go to the next video here when we talk about cutting your hair.
Woo.
First of all, the song that you chose, which again, I don't have the audio. I don't want to play the audio because I don't want to get kicked off of any
No, don't do it.
YouTube, right?
It was
But
"Lose You to Love
but
Me" by
just the
Selena.
videography anyway, just the video of it,
Oh, yeah.
the music that you tied in with this, and just I love that you're on this rooftop. I love that there's no one there. And then you do your signature tutting thing after you've cut that hair off. What was that all about? And I know, because we talked about this, that again, this is who you are. You were pigeonholed to be this person.
Right.
And part of that look for you was your hair as well as everything else. But to kind of cut it off, it almost seems symbolic. So tell us
Yeah.
why.
Oh my God. For me, like, I think a lot of my career has been ballsy in very like tangible ways.
Hmm.
It might not always be my outfit that was ballsy. Like, it might be the way that I shot a video that people aren't really shooting things like right now. It could be anything. But at the time, I felt like everyone was treating me as if my success was because I had all of these things attached to me. I had the hair, I had the this, I had the that. And that was so offensive because I didn't train for, however many years to have people act like it's not about how hard I work. So for me, I was starting to resent my long hair because it felt like a cop out.
Mm.
So I was like, you know what? I'll get unrecognizable and still kick ass because I'm not gonna let y'all think that it's more than, um,
Then just
like my
this,
hard work.
yeah.
So it was a statement, and it was also a lot of things I was going through where people in my life were just trying to put me under the impression that doing me was not my best bet.
Mm.
And I thought that that was insane because I truly think that's the only thing that's ever gotten me anywhere. And it's why my first video blew up. And it's the reason for all of this. So I'm like, if I don't trust myself, what do I really have? And people kept trying to take that from me or act like there was some formula. And it was making me frustrated. So the song, I had heard it in the car with my director at the time. And I just started crying. Like, I had never related to it so much because when she was saying, like, she says in part of the song,
And it's Selena Gomez's song.
Selena Gomez, it's Lose You to Love Me, and she says, you sang off key in my chorus when it wasn't yours. And I even like did one of my most signature moves at the time during that part because I had people in my life that were saying, oh, this is your moment? I don't think so. And we're trying to ruin that for me. And I was just like, yo, you couldn't stop what I've got going on if you tried. With all your might, you could not do it. And people really thought they could. So it was.
Girl, I
it's a
love you. You
statement.
are a dynamite. I'm telling you. And the video, like I said, with the music, the fact that you picked it and you're literally cutting your hair in the
Yeah.
video. It's wow. It's
Thank
really
you.
beautiful. I think
Thank you.
who you are and the essence of you and what you're doing, it just resonates, right? And even if there are people who are going to be like, why did you cut your hair? I remember we were talking off camera yesterday on the phone and you were like, it was crazy. I would have like this many people saying positive things and just as many people saying negative things.
Yeah.
And it's a testimony to life
Yeah.
because everything good and bad is always working in the same room with you and deciding what am I going to focus on? Because I know you said there were nights that people don't know that I cried myself to sleep. And you took it upon yourself saying, I'm shifting my focus.
Yeah.
I got this as many here, this is many here, but this is what I'm going to focus on. But I'm going to define me and redefine me as I choose, right? And I love that video. I think it's beautiful. I think it definitely, again, for young women that are watching, I would love them to just go and watch you from the first video and just see because it's okay. It's okay to evolve. It's okay to take risks as women, as people, right?
Yeah.
All right, so cut the hair, and then she comes out with this video, heels. I freaking love this because you're like, girl, play that video real quick. Let's talk about this. Now here's a whole different woman. Just the heels, no sneakers.
Yeah.
You know, tell us about this video. I love that you put the tutting in there just subtly, but it changes.
Yes.
And you said it earlier, people may not even realize, like it became such a thing for you that people don't even realize that it's always subtly there. But here you are, this new woman coming out on the heels, literally, and on the heels of who you are. So talk to us about that video.
That video for me, I was getting to the point where I felt like people had this idea of what they thought or supposedly knew they were going to get when it came to, oh, what's Dytto going to post? And I wanted people to understand that the only consistency around here is that you can't expect what you're going to get. Like, you don't know. Like, the only consistent thing is going to be inconsistency. Like, just trust that I'm going to do what I want and you sit back and relax because I was letting the comments just rule my life. If they said, oh, we want more of this, I would do that. And then they'd be like, oh, she kind of does the same thing all the time. And I was so over it with it. It just kind of, it got old and I was running in directions that weren't getting me anywhere. I was running in circles basically after a while. So I just started being like, you know what? Okay, I'm 21 years old. Like, I'm watching all these other women dance in heels and they look like they're having the time of their lives. I'm gonna call up my friend and let's do a heels dance video. That sounds fun. Like, it doesn't sound strategic. It doesn't sound like what the people are asking for. I was constantly just trying to make statements of, hey, if I have fun doing it, I'm gonna do it.
Oh, and then it shows.
And you don't have to worry about it. You know, it was.
And even visually, it's just really beautiful too. The how you have that brick in the back. It's got that vignette kind of dark shadowing, and it just really showcases the angles and everything. And it's just like, woman, hear me roar. I freaking love it.
Thank you.
So, woman, hear me roar transitions into this video, which is like really sensual and a whole nother level of Barbie Girl. This is when Barbie meets Ken, okay? Let's play this video.
I know what video she's gonna play. Okay, see this
So we had Kang on
video.
the show last week, and first of all, he's a dance sensation in and of itself. Like, he's
Yes,
just
ma'am.
unbelievable. He's an innovator as well. He's very creative. And these
Living
two
legend.
powerhouses come together. You make this definitely not a Barbie video, right? This is like vulnerability.
Yeah.
It's candid. It's intimate.
Yes.
It's really, really beautiful. There's art in there. There's love in there. There's emotion in there. When you watch the video, at least for myself, it's just like, first of all, it tells a story. And I love how both of you, when you guys dance, you tell a story.
Yeah.
You take people to places where it's utter joy or it's utter romance, or there's just this feeling of like, it just
Yeah.
stimulates things. So
Yeah.
what was the inspiration other than the obvious to make this video? Because the chemistry between the two of you is undeniable, and it's
Yeah.
just beautiful to watch it.
Thank
So
you.
talk to me about this video.
This video is one of my favorites because it gave me the same feeling that I had before I performed Barbie. And it was because, like, I just knew that it felt so good to me that it didn't matter what other people were going to say about it. I was already so satisfied and it wasn't even out yet. So
Love that.
making the piece was really just about us expressing, emotions that we were dealing with and finding a way to keep it real, but through our art. Like, we didn't want to have to speak about it. We didn't want to need to speak about it or feel like that
Right.
was something that we were going to be pressured to do. It was really just like, what's understood doesn't need to be said. Like, I'll show
Well,
you.
you said it. You said it earlier. You're like, I had these ways of just subtly doing things.
Yeah.
And what I love in that video, and is that it tells your guys' story. Because I
Yeah.
see the love, I see the confusion, the walking away, the pulling back,
Yeah.
the fiery romance,
Mhm.
the indecision, the backs to one another, but still together. I mean, it's literally a story that's
Right.
unfolding about this young woman and her journey. It
Yeah.
really depicts it so well. So when you make these videos, you're also directing your videos too, right?
Yes, and at that time too, Kang was directing that one with me as well, and it's really a way for us to dictate the aesthetics, the move. I'm big on aesthetics, as you see. Everything's
I
got
love
like,
it. And it's on
the
point too.
colors are
Yeah.
very important to me. The wardrobe's very important to me. The choreography, and really just collaborating. And a lot of my collaborations, I've been very, hey, this is the idea I have. Are you down? And with that one specifically, it was really like, okay, let's collab. What are we feeling? How do we put it into dance? And I felt like a real artist, and that's what it really was about. So it was about saying, like, hey, this is more than a relationship. Like, this is also a duty to the community to
Mhm.
make this art and document this because it's so important that we even know each other. And
Right.
that was something that really hit us. And it just felt like it was important
It
to
was beautiful. And what
document.
I love also is that, like you said in the beginning, it was everyone giving you ideas and telling you what you
Yeah.
should do, who you should be, who you shouldn't be, all of this stuff. But you've really taken control of your craft, and you're controlling the narrative of how this works.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're fans of people who love you. Even myself, I'm just, I'm older. I'm just learning this world, and I'm falling. It's a story. Your story is something that makes you fall in love with you. Like,
Thank
wow, she's amazing. And then when I talk to you, you're so down to earth. You're so humble. But you're really true to your craft.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show this last video
Okay.
because this shows how much you're true to your craft. And then I have some rapid questions to ask you, some deep questions.
Woo! Let's do it.
So this last video, what I love is, first of all, you're wearing a mask
Yeah.
and you've got the girls in the background with you.
Mhm.
It's like, to me, and this is your latest video that you have posted on
Yeah.
your YouTube. And this is why I wanted to post it, because here you are, you've got this mask. It's like, who's the girl behind the mask? There's a
Right.
mystery. It's almost like, what's coming next? You know?
It's so funny that you say that.
And it's almost like, like Sia, for example, when she
Right.
sings and you're not looking at her aesthetically, you're just hearing that voice.
Right.
Well, the same thing when I watched that video.
Mm.
And what's crazy is that in the beginning, like you said, and I don't know if there's thought to it, but this is me thinking out
Yes.
loud as I watch your journey, as I binge watched your journey, like you said, my color, pink.
Right.
It's what's interesting to me is that you're wearing this like subtly light pink, but you've got
Mhm.
this mask and it's sexy, but it's just movement and body, right? And then
Yeah.
there's this mystery. It's like, what's next for this girl? What's next? So brings me to my first question.
Okay.
What is next for you? Where do you see yourself?
Well, I didn't really realize the direction that all of this was gonna go in when I started, directing my dance videos, but going from that to doing bigger productions has brought me to a place where I want to direct for myself, for others, and it's also brought me to a place with my dance videos where every time I make a dance video now, I just wish it was my song. I wish I could move my lips without feeling like I'm trying to be whatever artist I'm
Mm.
dancing to. And that's the next step is exploring that side of myself and just having fun with it. I think because of my knowledge in dance, I take dance so seriously. And I think that it shows. And
Absolutely, it
as much
does.
fun as I'm having, I take it very seriously. And I want a place where I could just be goofy. Like, I want a place where I can just have fun and be whatever I felt like being that day without some preconceived idea of, oh, well, this is what Ditto does when she dances. So I think that this mask character is going to give me that
I
expression
love
for
it.
the
Yes, I
future.
feel that. I do feel that. It definitely it resonates. It definitely you are doing such, and I keep emphasizing this because I really truly feel like you're doing such a great job of controlling your narrative, keeping your art real and relevant.
Thank
You're
you.
really great at your innovation in that. And I hope you realize that when those on those days and those dark moments when you're like,
Um,
so this is going to bring me to my next question.
Thank you.
What is the mindset that you have to keep for yourself to keep going? Because I'm certain in this journey, there have been times and you've probably been like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Or what else can I do? Or is this all there is to me? How do you keep yourself in the mindset to keep going?
I think that the scariest thing and also the most calming thing at the same time are that it's all in my control.
Mm,
Like, there's never going to be anything that I can't do about it when it comes to my efforts. So, if my biggest problem is that I'm not trying, or that I'm not applying myself, or that I'm letting the haters get to me, like, it's about me. That's something I can deal with. Like, I'm very grateful that my problems are not exterior, that there's something that I'm dealing with personally,
mm,
and it is a mindset shift. So when I know, okay, the only way to the other side is through, okay, the longer I sit here and think about my problem, the worse it's gonna get. I need to get up and try stuff. And it's taught me a lot about the creative process, about my mental health, about myself as a woman. And it's really just made me realize that myself as a person and myself as an artist, like, we intertwine all day
yeah,
long. So if I'm not doing good in here, I'm not going to do good right here or right here.
I
Like,
love that. It's checking in.
yep.
It's checking in. Where they say the greatest distance you'll ever travel is from your mind to your heart,
Mm,
right? And it's
exactly.
connecting to that and saying, what's off?
Yep.
Is it here that's off or is it
Yeah.
here that's off?
And knowing that you have to do that is so
Yes, and
important.
finding
No
the
one tells you
balance.
that. No one tells you that you need to learn how to do that.
Yeah,
And I think I've learned the hard way, but I've definitely learned.
I love it. So what are you most afraid of?
I think that I'm the most afraid of it being my fault if something doesn't work.
The pressure.
Yeah, the pressure of knowing it's my responsibility and there's nobody else I can blame. Like, even down to the internet. The internet and what people are in the mood for is not something I can control, but I can control me. So I think that that's why I keep going, because every time I try something, if it doesn't work, I know there's other things I could try.
I tell you, I
Um,
say this all the time on the show. I say it to my son as well, is I tell him fail often because it means you're
yes.
doing something.
Yes.
And I think that people get afraid of the failure, but the
Yes.
failure is the stepping stone.
It
It's like,
is.
okay, I did this. It didn't work.
It
How
is.
do I tweak it? How do I fix it? But
Yes.
every step that you take is going to tell you the next step you need to take.
Yeah.
And I love that you tell yourself that, like, listen,
Yeah.
all right, this didn't work. Let me tweak it. Let me figure it
Yeah.
out.
And
But
I
it's you
have
doing
to.
you.
Yes. And it's because I've been a victim of sitting around playing it safe because I was too scared to fail or too
Mm,
scared to get ballsy. But the only time I feel good about my craft is when I know I'm putting out something a little ballsy. Like, because when I'm playing it safe, I can convince everyone around me that, oh no, I really like this song. It's just this, it's just that. And in my heart and soul, I know that I'm not being fed.
oh, I love that.
And I'm putting it out to say that I'm putting things out, but it's not hitting the same. I'm not walking around with the same glow. And that's something that, once again, no one can do anything about that but me. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
All right. So my next question, what do you want to tell young people out there about following their dreams?
Mm, so much. Um, to young people out there who are worrying about following their dreams right now, how they're gonna do it, I would say just start. Like, just start. I think that people not starting is just, I think that that's the biggest hurdle you'll ever run into. I don't think there's any hurdle bigger than just getting off your feet and starting. And that can look like anything, but just starting somewhere is going to get you anywhere. And you don't know that until you start. So do yourself a favor, get it popping, get it started, just start trying. And, try in the dark if you have to, but try.
Absolutely. And would you say that it's important to have the right tribe as well?
I think that that's one of the most important things, or knowing how to filter it at least, because I know that it's not ideal for everybody to have the perfect environment or the perfect people in their
Right.
lives that are mentally healthy. Like, everybody has their own battles, as healthy as a person can be. And I think knowing how to filter that and knowing, like, okay, this person does have my best interest, but I know that they're scared for if it's going to work out for me or not. So they might not encourage me to take risks, but I still know that I need to. Like, you have to have that tribe and you have to know what's what at the same
That's actually
time.
really profound. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that.
Really?
It's to have your tribe, but have a filter. I
Yeah.
think that's so incredible what you just said because no one gets that part of it.
Yeah.
You
No.
can just surround yourself with people and be like, that's my tribe.
Yeah.
But you have to filter the ones in and out of your life that's going to help you to move forward, that's not going to
Yes.
hold you back. And
Exactly.
also look at them like, I know they love and support me, but maybe not
Exactly.
right now. So that
Yeah,
filter,
and you have to know where they're coming from. Like, Kang and I have started saying, because it's just in so many situations has rang true, but we always say, like, don't sit here and give me advice. Don't sit here and tell me what to do. Give me perspective,
I love that.
because what my mom might do might be totally different than what this dancer might do, which might be totally different than what would Rihanna do, which is what I really be trying to think in my mind. Like, so it's not everyone's gonna have the same thing because people prioritize different things. So you have to just take it all into consideration. You got to listen to all those people, but then find your own voice or you
Yeah,
won't be able to
find your
hear it.
own voice. Yes. Okay. My last question for you.
Okay.
What would the woman today tell the younger you?
Whew. Oh my goodness. I would tell I would tell my younger self that, like, you're doing it right.
Mm,
Like, you're doing it right, because I think that I've always been doing it the way that I need to be doing it. Like, I've always had a good heart, always been willing to work hard, but I think that I've let a lot of people convince me otherwise for a moment, and it's so sad to think about all the time that I wasted thinking that I didn't know what I needed. And that's not being open-minded or not hearing people out or not, checking yourself, but just really in a creative space. Like, if it feels good, it feels good. And
and trust
sometimes you've
that.
just got to trust that and trust yourself. So at least at the end of the day, you don't end up in a space that you don't know how you got to.
Because let me tell you, there is a lot of people out there will tell you how to do you when they have
Oh
no
my
clue.
gosh, everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody can think about how Ditto could do Ditto better than do it better
And did
than
it.
me. And
It's almost a tongue twister.
yeah, yeah. How do you even say that? Everyone will tell Ditto how to do Ditto better than Ditto, but I don't see any other Dittos out there.
Absolutely.
So
Wow. I appreciate this. I feel like, wow, I could talk to you forever.
same. That's why I
You're,
wanted to
well,
come on
you're
here.
special. Okay. Like,
Thank
and I'm
you.
not saying that because of 3.8 million or, 34 million. You're just that. You
You.
have something that radiates from you. The same thing I feel about Kane. You guys
Same.
are just wise beyond your years. You are dedicated and hardworking. You're not just a video that someone's clicking.
Yeah.
There is so many layers and so much depth to who you are.
Yeah.
And I am going to be watching and seeing you just rise and rise and rise. So
Thank
how do
you.
people, my audience who may not know, how do they find you? How do they look for you? Please go and watch her videos. Oh my God, I was binging. I was up so late watching all yours. I just love it. I am like, I'm definitely a fan. And what did I tell you the
Thank
other day about those
you.
haters? What did
Mm.
Tupac say?
Oh my gosh.
Haters are
Or
just
just fans
fans in
in
denial.
denial.
Okay. So close us out. Say goodbye to your
Sheesh.
fans and how can people get in touch or look for you? I mean, how do they find you?
Yeah.
How do they see you?
For the self-directed produced videos for the aesthetics, go to YouTube. It's just under Dytto, Dytto, and everything on Instagram is under IM_Dytto, Dytto. And yeah, those are my two most consistent. Anywhere you just search my name and you're gonna find me dancing somewhere.
I love it. Well, thank you. You're a beautiful soul. I really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Thank
So
you.
do not forget to subscribe. I thank you so much for watching. And until next time, ciao, y'all.